Coming soon from Landfall Games, the studio that brought you Cluster Truck and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, where the ever-continuing battle between red and blue just continues on in the most funny and entertaining and always totally accurate way. We present, well, they present, because I don't make the game, the Master Ninja, who is shooting shurikens at a ridiculous pace. Ladies and gentlemen, this unit looks awesome. But in all seriousness, holy shit, those guys over there at Landfall Games, those crazy speeds, Hoop-de-derp-and-derb, man, they make just great games, and I tell you what, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator looks like not only are we getting an update to the Samurai, and maybe a giant, or at least a very tall unit, carrying a huge double-handed axe, we now have the Master Ninja, and you can see him just throwing shuriken all over the place. And if you look closely now, look very closely, he's got a little bit of a, what is that called? Like, what's the Asian goatee called? But that's what he has, so he looks like a ninja master. Now, in the comments on their little preview, they were saying that while he looks incredibly powerful, he might act as a boss or a mini boss, or for you, if you were to purchase him, a very highly expensive unit, maybe in between kind of like a unit and a siege unit, you know, like a cannon or catapult or ballista, and then you'd be able to purchase one for yourself. So whether it be a mini boss or a boss, but he's definitely going to be a very expensive unit for both the Sandbox and probably the campaign. But man, I tell you what, we've got 3 new units. We've also got the Thief being announced a while ago, and the Thief just looked like a bunch of garbage. I don't know if they're free or how much they're gonna be, because I saw one footman destroy like 30 or 40 of those thieves. And you know, if they're called thieves, like, maybe they have a special ability other than a dagger, but I don't really know. Anyway, the Ninja Master looks pretty awesome. So once again, if we're going to be talking about tabs, because we are talking about tabs right now, well, the tournament is still going underway. I'm fixing it. Like I said, I wanted a little more extra time on that video because I wanted to do it right. The first time I showed off the tournament video, I felt like I was rushed. I put a lot of time, but it was kind of like, in my personal opinion, relatively average. It was 4 battles, but you know, I'm gonna find out a better way to do it. I wanna have the bracket showing like after each round, and I'm gonna cut out, you know, I'm gonna have just more of the action. So I feel like if we just finish it in one video, it could be really good, but it'd take me probably like a full day or more to like do everything. But I feel like that is how we're gonna do the tabs tournament. We're approaching November, so soon this thing is going to go into like open beta soon. So how exciting is that? I mean, I think that's why they're kind of showing off the Thief, the Giant Axeman. They showed off like Riflemen that were modified. Makes you wonder if maybe Steam Workshop support, or at least mod support, or like if you just want to tamper with the statistics of the guys. I don't really know. But there was a Musketman that was just firing like a machine gun. And that was pretty damn awesome to see, because like it makes you wonder, like, if you just change a certain statistic by like even a decimal point, you know, you have a guy that fires like once every couple seconds to like firing multiple times every second. That's pretty cool, and that can change the battlefield in obviously a totally accurate way. But Totally Accurate Battle Simulator just looks like one of those games that's going to go on strong, mainly due to the fact that it's just it's both entertaining to play as well as to watch. And I think that given what they've done with Cluster Truck, it's going to be, you know, they're going to support the community and community content. Now, what's really kind of cool about Landfall Games, just them, like, I'm a big fan. It's no surprise, but they always go to these game jams and they're always making new games. So it's definitely a fun studio to keep an eye on, because they just put out relatively simple but fun games, and they're working on so many at the same time. So at least right now at this stage, you know, it's looking pretty cool. They've built some games like in the past, and you know, I don't know if they ever really got like as much exposure or like positive reception as Cluster Truck and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator have. I mean, Jacksepticeye plays Cluster Truck on the reg, so you know it's gonna have a lot of hype and a lot of support behind it. And it's a really fun game. Now, if you are gonna play Cluster Truck, I highly encourage you to check out a gamepad. But so let's just talk a little bit about what's going on, you know, because oftentimes this is one of those after action commentaries where I just like talk after filming. So I get to like talk about a lot of things that I wouldn't think about while I'm, you know, recording live. But this weekend, I'm actually going to be gone. I'm heading up to the Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville because I'm a college foosball fan, even though we just played the kickback today, and that was another kind of football. I'm also a fan of that kind of football. But there's a lot of really fun games. There's a lot of like updates for games that I've got coming out. And if you like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, stay tuned for tomorrow because there's a game that was definitely inspired by Tabs. And it's in another genre of sorts, but relatively simple, and you can definitely tell that their inspiration came from Tabs. Like, it's flattery, or imitation is the supreme form of flattery. Well, these guys who made the game that I'm gonna show off tomorrow are definitely impressed and a fan of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, because you'll notice a lot of similarities right away, but it is a nice, different, and fresh take on it. And it's very, very early pre-alpha, so it's always fun to see games, you know, as they develop over time, especially if, like, they've got some promise and they're fun to play. But, man, I tell you that. Other than that, we've also got a Command of War update coming soon. There's, like, 2 or 3 other games I've got my eye on. There's this game called Ships 2017, which also looks kind of fun. So if you have played it and you recommend it, if you recommend it, let me know. If you've been playing other games that you think are fun, and they're both fun to play and fun to watch, feel free to leave recommendations. That's what I love about this community. It's a pretty vocal community, and you can tell that especially when it comes time for Tabs requests. So speaking of Tabs requests, I want to hear once again, now that we have like a few new units, Thief, Giant Axeman, and the Ninja Master, what other units you'd like to see in the game? Like, we've seen horses on the Chariot, so it's like, it's not implausible that we could get you know, cavalry units in the future, but you know, I mean, I'd like to ask this question. I like to remind people, like, hey, you know, at some point in the development of this game, we are going to get Steam Workshop where you, myself, you and me, you and me are going to be able to build whatever unit we want, you know, like within reason or within the limitations of what they're going to put on this game. But it's pretty exciting for that. But I mean, other than that, in November, I'm planning tentatively, like kind of like 95% sure that I'm going on like a little week-long trip to Peru. So the thing about YouTube is, I think not too many people are aware, is like, I've talked and heard about a lot of YouTubers who we work a lot. You know, but when my saying is, when work is play, you can work all day. You know, and really, like, I'd say 1/3 of what we do is play video games, and then the other 2/3 is all the background stuff, you know, editing, rendering, like researching games, finding stuff, learning how to play them, all that kind of stuff. It takes up a lot of time, so I'd say, you know, we still get to play video games all day, or, you know, that's the saying, or that's what everyone thinks, is like, oh, you just play video games. And there's a lot else going on it, but that being said, like, you always try to find like new, fresh stuff. And like, for me personally, it's like, this is a relatively new and young channel, and it did blow up like a few months ago, and that was really awesome to see and experience. And it's a constant process to kind of like weed out games that your viewers aren't enjoying, even when you enjoy them a lot. Like, I love Kingdom New Lands, and that was pretty fun at first, and very well received by the community at first, but you can definitely tell, you know, look at the views, look at the likes, look at the comments. That's a general gauge of how you can see if a video is doing well or not, you know, or well received within my community, our community here. And Kingdom New Lands kind of like fell off, so it's like, there's not really a game that's like a pure, highly well-received Let's Play game, but that's kind of the fun of it in a way. It's because I always get to look for new games, right? So that's why I'm always asking you guys, hey, what games y'all playing? But so I think like today, like between yesterday and today, oh my gosh, there were like 3 or 4 different announcements, plus I found like 1 or 2 other like pre-alpha / beta, early development type games that I think would be really cool to show off. Maybe they're one-offs, maybe they're 2-offs, whatever. But I think there's one, you know, there's a few that might like make multiple episodes. But that, and then like Totally Accurate Battle Simulator updates and a Command of War update, it's really, really fun. And I don't know what it is, man. Maybe it's just like, down here in Florida, it's hot as balls. Like, it can get so hot. But now that, you know, like late October is hitting, like fall finally hit, the weather is just perfect. It's like 70-something degrees Fahrenheit, which for like a nice breezy coastal town in Florida, is just transcendent. It's amazing. It's immaculate. The weather is just so refreshing, and it's great. So I feel like between the updates and the new games, the change in the weather, like I'm starting to swim again, starting to be some physically active, you know, just like working on life balance, and like I really feel refreshed. And I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this awesome adventure and part of this awesome community that is Baron Vaughn Let's Play. By the way, I need to work on like a channel avatar and a banner, and like I was thinking about maybe changing the name or even rebranding like my other channel, which is a wargaming channel. And it's not a variety gaming channel by any stretch of the imagination. It's very well entrenched in the wargaming genre. I was thinking about changing that one from Baron Vaughn Games and changing this channel, which is a variety channel and fits more with the whole concept that is Baron Vaughn Games. Someone who plays all the games. All the games! We gotta play all the games. I've been thinking about that, so if you guys got any thoughts with that, you know, because that's what I love about the experience of YouTube is like, I have like thousands and thousands of friends who, you know, enjoy playing games and watching games with me, right? And so I can also get your feedback on how to be better at games, what to do, what strategies to implement, and then also like, you know, how to like kind of further develop this community, right? So, I mean, I guess we could also celebrate like 100,000 subs. Like we hit 100,000 subs, which was really cool. That was really cool. It just shows like the progress we're making, you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, I've been blathering, so this was almost like a blog or a vlog type, as well as an update on tabs, which is kind of like, you know, what would you call it? The champion game of this channel right now at present. And the Ninja Master just looks awesome. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been great talking to you guys. Stay tuned tomorrow. It's again, like I said, the game is very heavily inspired on tabs, and it's very fun and interesting. And it should be a nice, fresh take, as well as, you know, we'll see how it develops, and if it continues to show the promise that it has right now, it might be one of those games. It might be a co-champion. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Baron. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me. Guys, I'll see you in the next video.